Most people don't change because their environment keeps them comfortable.
We underestimate how much where we live affects what we think.
Your environment either supports your growth or slows it down.
Sometimes the problem isn't you, it's the environment you're trying to grow in. All right, so welcome back to Deals, Dreams, and Drama, the February episode, the month of love. And we are going to be talking about how your environment supports or doesn't support your growth. So ladies, let's get things started and just start with a quick catch up. It's February, so we are 1 month into 2026. How's everything going? How are you doing on your goals so far?
Well, I'm excited because I had the best month of my career in January.
I'm excited because we're coming off my birthday month. It was great, and we had a great month in business as well, so it was all good.
Me, I'm excited because I have started my networking and having a good time. So looking forward to family reunion.
Hey,
yes. So, yeah.
I'm excited because it is my birthday month.
Yes.
Shout out to my fellow Valentine's Day babies.
Not the sexy voice.
That's why I wore a heart for you.
It's the month of love, okay? It is the month of love.
You Aquarius. You Aquarius.
We do what we do. We do it well,
was the turn
okay?
on of the sexy voice for me. I was like,
did.
Right.
I only do it in February.
It is Valentine's Day.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. But let's talk about our environment. So what changed in your life once your environment changed?
I mean, the one thing that changes sometimes is just like we said in some of the openings, how you think, right? Mm-hmm. Because the environment, depending on who you're around, what you see, Miranda says it best, you only know what you know.
Yeah.
And so you change yourself, and you're like, we talked about it before, being in real estate is very important, being around people. Mm-hmm. And so when you move yourself and you're in a place where people are in production, then that changes the way you think about things. When you are a mother and you're around more supportive mothers or mothers that's kind of wear multiple hats, you learn to multitask or develop a relationship to depend on your tribe better, right? So your environment sometimes help how you think, because none of us can do this by ourselves, I think. So I think the environment is not just where you live at sometimes, but that village, and whatever that village is, whether it's your mom, your mothers, your friends, your business colleagues, that all helps create a better mindset for you sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
I love that. And talking about being February and going to family reunion, I'll just go back to like my very first family reunion.
So when you say family reunion, I don't want to cut you off. Make sure we tell the people what family reunion is.
Oh, yes. So KW, Keller Williams Family Reunion is held every year. Definitely like a real family reunion because we get to see all our real estate friends from all over the world. And so
depending on where it's at, it's about 8 to 10,000 agents, right?
Yeah, it's
I think
huge.
Vegas is usually the biggest one, about 10K agents, and it usually runs about 3 to 4 days.
This one will be in Atlanta. But I think I shared this with you all, like when we first started talking, is that until I was around the right environment, right? Because I did start out at a small brokerage, and then I moved to Keller Williams, and I said to myself, I'm doing everything. So I went to family reunion, y'all. When I went to family reunion, and let's just be very clear, I saw all of those successful Black agents that look just like me. I was like, oh my God. And I found my tribe. I'm not seeing it on social media. I am looking at these people, and we are in a room having a good time. I mean, I don't know if we all were there, but I was like, this is the environment I need to be in.
Shout out to Emmerich and the crew for starting that. Let's go.
Yes. So I was like, this is the environment that I need to be in. And I really feel like ever since then, like my mindset just went out the roof with wanting to level up, because I'm like, it is possible. And any agent that comes into, our office at Keller Williams, I'm telling them like, y'all need to get and see, there's some real ballers in real estate, right? Like we have a lot of great examples to live by. So I definitely love I love being in the rooms. I love being in those type of environments. So I can make sure that I'm associating myself with the right people so I can keep my mindset and I can continue to level up, whatever that looks like for me.
I will say to that point, I went to family reunion. I've gone to some other conferences, and it's definitely important to see successful people in the flesh.
Yes.
To see, how they are, how they interact, because while it may seem, or while we may think, oh, they probably think they're better than us or whatever, it's so different to see, a $200 million producer that is just like me,
And
but
supportive.
also and supportive and supported by their office and by their colleagues.
Yes.
And for me, I'm gonna put her name out there because she won't mind, and she should be listening. Regina Polk was the first African American coach I saw in our office.
Wow.
And so for me, it was seeing that in leadership.
Yes.
And seeing, someone in leadership, someone doing that. And it was like, oh, it just opened my mind to the thought of, I could do that.
Right.
And then later did that. And, even seeing like now we have people that own offices, or that are investors in market centers, or are coaches or running coaching programs, top producing team leaders, things like that. And it's just so much, just like sometimes you really have to see it and get in that environment. It doesn't have to be permanent, but just to see it, to open up your mind to what is possible past just selling houses.
That's right.
Yes, I love that. Man, and shout out to Regina, because Regina is always, and I say that she is always willing to coach and will coach.
And will.
And a great coach.
And will.
And will.
Regina used to be my coach. And let me tell you, she was she would bring down the hammer. But as far as the environment, like I include my choices in my environment, because honestly, being at Keller Williams is a choice.
It is.
Right? Because we can be anywhere. And people ask me sometimes, well, why are you not at a black firm?
Come on.
Right? Because I'm a black woman and I'm pro-black. Blackity black.
Look at them earrings.
Check the earrings. Listen, check the mentality. But no. So why am I not at a black firm? And here's the thing: I absolutely love and root for all of my black people in real estate.
Yes.
I'm rooting for everybody black.
That's right. That's
So
right.
I love seeing people, my colleagues, opening their own firms and growing those firms in excellence, right?
Yes.
So no, not going to name any names, but there are several in the Charlotte area that are doing a fantastic job.
Absolutely.
And yet, at Keller Williams, as you mentioned, going to family reunion and having that Mecca experience where it's not just the people that I work with in my brokerage.
That's right.
It's not just the people at our Keller Williams or the other, 7 Keller Williamses that are around the Charlotte area, right?
Stones throw away.
And having a network among those agents that look like me. That's amazing too. Don't get me wrong. I just came from an event where I saw some of those agents, and it's so amazing to have that camaraderie. But when you go to a conference, a worldwide conference, and see people that look like you that are doing so much more, right?
Yes.
And doing it at such a high level and willing to pour into you and willing to do all of that, that is amazing. But the reason that I say my choices are part of my environment, that's a choice.
That's right.
It's a choice to want to be around people that are doing better than me.
You're investing but you're investing in yourself.
I'm
Because these
investing in
aren't
myself.
free events.
These
right?
aren't
No,
free
Lord.
events. No, absolutely.
No, it costs money to go to conferences.
No,
I
they
always
do.
say that in real estate. But the choice of deciding that I don't want to just sit around and talk about how bad the market is.
No.
I don't want to talk about how hard it is to sell a house right now. We know that. What are we
That's
doing
right.
about it?
Because you got to put different C's in your mind.
Correct. So,
Yeah.
and what I like is hearing from people who look like me. How are you doing it differently? Right. But let me also say that my environment also includes people who don't look like me.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Right? Because all of my clients don't necessarily look like me. Right? So
Right.
I want all of the perspectives because I want to serve all of the people. But
That's
I
right.
absolutely value the environment that we've built at Keller Williams for people who look like us.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. I think just talking about the environment, we've also people ask the same questions with me being in 2 different places. Why am I not with firms that are more virtual? Right. But to me, the importance of being able to walk through brick and mortar buildings and sit down, talk to people, and just things like that. Like I mean, we had to live a life of Zoom and online calls for a full year, and our market centers all changed because of that. But I still think it is very important to be able to have a broker's office that I can walk into and have a conversation if I want to.
Yes.
Not my broker that's in the cloud and I got to figure out who they are and where they at and if they
Right.
talking to me. So I think that also is what we choose when we we pick brokers, right? And then, like you said, just picking out the people that's in the brokerage, right? Because when I first started, I started at a brokerage. I just didn't see people that were in production. And they were there, they just weren't there to share or to pour into people. And so I went and talked to someone that I was, like my mentor, Tammy Harris, is who introduced me to Regina. And I'm like, okay, I'm moving market centers today. And it made a world of difference, a world of difference. So you have to sometimes identify if it's the right environment sooner than later.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Right.
what role does accountability, I'm sorry to ask a question, but what role does accountability play in your environment?
Right. A lot.
Right? Like a lot. It's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything. Because without it, and I think that is, and this is just my opinion, my little humble opinion, but I think that that's probably what a lot of brokerages are missing is accountability. Like, who is asking you? If you chose not to make calls today, if you chose not to generate any business for yourself today by making calls, knocking doors, doing whatever you do, if you chose not to do that, if you made that choice, why did you make that choice? Did your goals change? Did your commitment to the goals change? And those are those kind of hard questions that those are the questions Regina would ask in a minute, right? Because she's an amazing coach.
Yeah,
but that's, and sometimes those questions don't feel good when you have to answer them.
That's right.
But that's that accountability turning you inside out to make you hopefully do something different. So
That's right.
if I don't have accountability in my environment, I'm not hitting goals.
You're not doing what you need
And
to
that it fully comes from the top down, because I think about perspective, having been in leadership within our office, that is something that, one, you don't see everywhere. And that's not even in every Keller Williams office. Like, you could go to a different office and not see what you see in our office. But also sometimes, numbers tell a story.
Yes.
And sometimes things can hide behind the numbers, which is something that one of the leaders in our office says all the time. And it's like, you hear it and, we could probably look at our own numbers and see what it looks like on paper, but then we also know the story behind those numbers. Whether it's that you hit your goal, whether it's that you didn't, whether it's that, hey, this looks good on paper, but in reality, this thing right here is actually way, way off from where it should be. Like, the numbers tell a story, but then also what's hiding behind the numbers. If you don't have people that are asking that question, especially in the leadership of your office, things can look good until they don't. And usually that shift is really quick with the success of a business. And again, that's any business. It's not just real estate. But talking about environment, how has your environment changed or shaped your life outside of business?
Go ahead, Sheree.
No, I can go. I mean, outside of business, man, listen, I'll say this for me, like, I feel like my family unit, they will never, and when I say they, I mean my boys, they will never see the struggles that me and their dad had growing up, right? Clearly going to the military was one big choice that I made, but then here it is being in real estate. That's like a bigger choice. Like, the opportunities are unlimitless. So my kids get to see life from a totally different perspective. And I'll say this on camera. Like, right now, we are getting a pool in our backyard. And my husband was like, I would never think that I would be here. Right? So it's like our whole life, not just from a financial standpoint, but we get to enjoy vacations together. We get to have memories. So, like, the business aspect has just been amazing, whether it's a great year in real estate or if it's a bad year in real estate, as what we call it, right? As what we call a great year or a bad year. Because sometimes, clearly, we all hold ourselves to higher standards, but we all have that, like I said, survival number. Like, regardless if we don't reach here, we're still surviving, right? So I just feel like my family, we get to create memories, we get to enjoy each other, and we get to have that downside. Like, we're having a good time right now.
Yeah.
And let me say, I just want to say, and congratulations on the pool. I cannot wait for the invite.
Yes, come on.
I am so excited about that. But my environment also has to include people who understand that it ain't bragging if you got it.
Ooh.
Okay? Now, I will say that a very smart man named Kent Temple said that. But It ain't bragging if you've done it. So, so when I say my environment has to include people who understand that, I can't be around the must be nices. Do you know what I'm saying? And,
What up,
and
big
I
baller?
think, okay, I see you big time. I hear something. I heard you say something there that you didn't say. But no, seriously. And I think hopefully the people who are watching and listening understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There are people who are around you who view your success as, or are you talking about your success? Are you talking about, being able to go on vacation or going on multiple vacations and things like that? I work very hard.
For
I work
sure.
very hard. My husband works very hard
That's
so that
right.
we can provide a life for our children that we want to provide for them, right?
Yes.
So the must be nice. Like if I go on social media and see a must be nice, I'm always like, there it is.
Right.
You will reveal yourself, but we have to literally remove those people from our environment. Whether you do it literally, like, with the cut game, like Keisha,
Cut it up.
or if it's just that I just don't interact with that because I want to be with the congratulations.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Yes.
I know you
Sis.
work hard. Yes, sis.
Teach me.
Yeah. Let me be around that. Don't put me around the must be nicest.
Right.
But definitely invite me to the pool party.
It's y'all know what's coming. The vibes will be there. Okay.
Look, that's the people I need to be around. The people looking for an invite.
Yeah. And I think for me, my environment has changes often. And when it changes, it's big changes, right? Since I was little, like I've made big girl moves. Like moving to North Carolina was something I did at 9. Nobody else. I was told I couldn't do it and I still did it. Right. And so I think there was a point after our divorce was almost final that we just felt like we needed a better environment, a different environment, not just for me, but for my kids. And we were you kind of get stuck sometimes in a rut sometimes with an environment. And that's when we made that move to Houston in 2015. And so that was a big girl move. And that was a reminder, like we were joking in the last episode, that I reminded myself that I'm that girl. I'm that chick. I did this. I took my kids across country. I drove twice, drove them there, came back, and then drove myself. And then, reinvented myself with real estate and a whole nother environment that I just feel like was where I needed to be, right? I mean, even my friends' parents would see that, right? They'd be like, Keisha, you are glowing. So sometimes we have to really just change up everything and start all over, and we can't be afraid to do that. And I've done that several times, and I'm trying to see if I'm gonna have to do it one more time or if I'm just gonna settle on one of these. But we can't be afraid of making those changes in our environments because sometimes we forget who we are, and we need that subtle reminder to be like, baby, you are back. Right. And then there it is.
Yes, I love that, Keisha.
I think my environment has shaped who I am as a mother. Going back to the accountability, going back to, for me, it's patience. Patience has to show up in real estate. And so it also has to show up at home and in motherhood. And that's something that, I also think having a child later helped with that because I don't know if 20 anything me would have the patience that I have now, where it's just like, all right, we're going to wait it out. My mom told me the other day, she's like, you have way more patience. And she actually said, Trey, I don't have the patience that your mom has. So we're going to do this now. But that patience. And I think also the accountability has helped with my mental space as well. And just, asking better questions of myself. Okay, why am I doing this that way? Why am I afraid to do that? We talked about it on the last episode, like what happens if it goes right? Those are not questions that you hear in every environment.
Right.
In some corporate jobs, you either get like this very high level praise or you get all of the here's what you did wrong. Right?
Yes.
So that's an environmental thing too that you can bring home, that you might see yourself, again, sharing with your kids. Either it's great job, you got all A's and B's, or why do we have this C? Like there's all of that shifts and goes in all the different places. So just asking better questions, being more accountable to myself, and patience. Patience is so important.
And that accountability and saying, I chose this. Because sometimes you think things just happened. I didn't make my calls today because I just didn't get a chance to. No.
You made a
chose
choice
to prioritize something above
Making
building
your
your
calls.
business. And maybe that was okay. right? Because there are times when you need to do that. But just I feel like that brings so much peace when you realize that everything is a choice.
Yes.
Every single thing is a choice. Or the choice is how you react to everything, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So what environment did you have to leave even though it felt scary?
I think I just talked about mine, right? I was leaving an environment where Charlotte's just down the road from home, right? Greensboro, we'd rolled up, and just like packing up and leaving everybody that I knew, and had to be a plane ride away, not just jumping in the car. And so it was scary in the beginning, especially because I feel like when you make those kind of changes when you're younger, you don't take into accountability or account all the things that could go wrong, right? Once I think I was like 37 when I made that decision to move, and I had been already living in Charlotte for like 16 years, right? And so when you make that move, you're like, okay, what if all the what ifs, because now I'm responsible for two people, not just me, but them and their well-being. So that was a real scary move. I'm not going, and I didn't realize it until after it was over. Like, people don't do this every day, you know? And it worked out. I think it worked out for the better.
Oh, it has.
I think the growth that I experienced during that time, and even now, I wouldn't have gotten if I would have stayed here, right? So it definitely developed a new part of me. I'm not gonna say it's developed a new me, but definitely a new part of me.
Yeah, for me, it was leaving corporate. Had to be. At 37, deciding that, at 37 and pregnant, deciding that this was a good time to just leave. But no, I'm sorry, I was 37. I was 34 when I got my real estate license, and I was pregnant then. But leaving corporate, it was, I had a 3-year-old and a 3 and 6. My kids were 3 and 6. I carried all the benefits. I carried all the things, right? From my good job. I remember telling my mom, so I'm going to leave UPS and I'm going to go sell real estate. And she was like, well, you must have a plan because you're leaving that good job. Mamas. But she did. She said, because you're leaving that good job. And it was very scary because I was like, and then I got to the end of that year and sold a whopping 3 homes. And I was like, I got to do this again.
Got to do it again.
I got to do this again and again and again and figure out how to do it better and better and better. And ultimately I did. But that first step and changing the environment so drastically, and I even have to shout out to my husband because he didn't marry a real estate agent. He married a corporate girly that pretty much was 9 to 5 sometimes. So just being, changing my environment, changing his environment, changing the environment for my kids. Thank God it all worked out for the best.
Absolutely.
But man, it was scary. It was scary.
Gosh.
I would say for me, there have been 2 major changes. One was, leaving the corporate world and had not even taken the real estate class. I just said, I'm not working for anybody else anymore. And that was, and I
wait a minute, you quit before you had your license?
I left before I signed up for the class.
Oh, Jesus.
Because I was just done with working for anybody else. Didn't even want to give them the 2-week notice, but my coworkers talked me into that. But I was like, I'm just not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
That was one change, but the big change in the more recent one was leaving the team. And leaving what I helped to build for me. And it was literally, it was for me. There was nothing wrong. I tell people all the time, we probably had the most amicable split you will ever see.
Your real estate team.
Yes, my real estate team. Yes. But it was literally like, I have to choose me. I have to choose me, and my life is so different than when we started this, and it's so different than, it's not even that it was different than what I thought it was going to be. It was just, it didn't serve me anymore. And it was, hey, I can do this, and it's not as beneficial to me as it is to others. And that just, I had to choose me and be okay with that. So that was a big change that was definitely scary and changed my environment because I was going into the office more, all those things. So that was scary and is working out well. And I feel like I'm happy. It's developed a different part of me.
Yep. I was going to say, and here you sit.
Here you sit.
Yep, here we are.
So listen, I'm going to say this and make y'all laugh because I'm going to say I ain't never scared, okay? Because first off, y'all know I moved to Charlotte in 2019. The only person, well, I won't say that. I do have family here, but my closest family member would be my sister, right? And so it was go back to Maryland, where I had established a lot there. So a lot of people think after you retire, you go back and get a good government job. And, you know, we still had our house in DC. My husband was a Capitol Police officer. I got orders to Charleston after I got promoted. I was not scared. I went there. Came to Charlotte 2019. I think the biggest, and I wouldn't even say I was scared. One morning I woke up and I left corporate, and my husband was like, "Are you gonna wait until?" I said, "No, sir." I had a team interview me in the office. They were like, "Do you want to join the team?" And I was like, "No, I know I'm not team material. I'm going to tell you
Come
that
on,
right
team
now.
material.
I just know I'm not. You know, I'm in my own mind, and I'm really headstrong, and I've given so much when I was in the military. It was time to give back to myself and to give back to my family. So with that being said, I ain't never scared. I done moved around. Here I am in Charlotte, just doing what I want to do, meeting new friends, having new accountability partners. I'm having a good time.
Come on, good time.
Love it.
I love
Good
it.
time, girl.
So as let the good times roll. You know?
Call me Thelma. Call me Thelma.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Why are we like this?
We are so unserious.
You all enjoy, okay?
All right, let's wrap this up.
Okay, so as we start to wrap up, and one thing we didn't shout out, and I do want to circle back to it. Happy Black History Month.
Oh,
Black
yes.
History Month.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about one piece of advice that you would give someone about their environment. Just one piece. It could be about changing. It could be about staying. Anything. Just one piece of advice about their environment.
Make sure your environment serves you. Period. Doesn't matter if it's your church environment, your church folks, your family, your friends. Make sure it serves you, because that's what helps, build your mindset sometimes. So make sure it serves you.
And start with your internal mindset. Start with your internal environment, which is your mindset. So just make sure that your mindset is also serving you.
And I wouldn't say anything different. I think, like I said, the people you're around and your mindset are like the two most important things that you have to make sure that they're continuously elevating you as a person, right?
Yep.
Emotionally, spiritually, physically, all of the things. So,
And I would say sometimes it's not the environment. Sometimes we blame the environment when it's actually us. So
just read me.
Well, let's just drop this mic.
Why don't we just...
So, just take time to look at the whole situation and not just the environment or this person or that person. Sometimes we do have to evaluate ourselves, and some people will change their environment all the time because it's them. It's not the environment. So just saying. On that note, happy February.
Is that how we're ending?
Happy February. Happy
February.
birthday, Brandy.
Happy birthday, Brandy.
Happy
Creeping
birthday,
closer to
Brandy.
40. We getting
Girl,
there.
bye.
Still not there though. Still not there.
The shade.
But tell us about your environment. Tell us what you loved about this episode, and also what you want to hear. Remember, you can hear this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, and be sure to focus on the deals, dreams,
And the drama.
All right. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.